Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the newest episode of the Midweek Mix-Up podcast. And this week we are joined by special guest Allan Carranza, straight from Xbox, Xbox Program Manager there now. We will dive into his story on how he became a Xbox Program Manager, where he came from, and his story behind his affinity with Xbox. But before we do the deep dive into himself, we will get into the introductions. First of all, we will introduce our panel members and then our special guest. So first and foremost, Hertog Vin, how are you doing today, brother? What you been up to? What you been playing?
Well, it's good to be back after I missed 2 episodes.
Yeah,
I've been working today, but I've been gaming as well lately. I started Scarlet Nexus. Really, really great game. Fell in love with it straight away. I'm now like 3.5 hours in.
oof.
It's great. It's so good. I really love it. I'm still playing The Last of Us on Twitch.
Sweet.
Enjoying the game. I love the story. The controls, no. The aiming is terrible. It's not the game people say it's a 10-10 for me. To be honest, I can't get used to the controls.
Was that the first Last of Us?
Yeah, the remastered on the
I think it's to me because I picked it up a little bit late on in the generation as well, and I think it's just because of how it's moved. I think at the time it was okay, but because we're so used to much more fluid controls in games, like it feels a little bit more clunky these days.
I don't know, but Erwin said do The Last of Us 2 straight after it, so I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, you'll notice the difference.
I finished The Artful Escape.
Awesome.
From Gamepass. Nice. It's really, really good game. It's a short game, but really good.
Yeah.
What else have I been playing a lot? I did all the Gamepass quests again, so it's
you've finished all them.
Yeah, I finished all of them again. So I'm saving up for the external SSD reward point thing. I need it because there's not enough space on my Xbox Series X for all the games I have at the moment. So
that's a good problem to have, man. It means there's a bunch of great games.
It's a luxury problem, I know, but there's so many games that I keep pre-ordering stuff because I have Sonic Colors Ultimate I pre-ordered. I have Super Monkey Ball pre-ordered, and I'm waiting for the Halo Special Edition or Collector's Edition, and Forza Horizon 5 editions. I need to pre-order them as well. And as you can see, there's a huge backlog here behind me that I still need to play. But and then today, Marvel Avengers came into Game Pass, so I'm downloading that as well. Because it was a game.
I'm looking and I see it, but
I forgot today was the 30th, man. I'm waiting for that game. I'm so stoked for that. I'm more stoked because I was like, I'm gonna buy this game, and I kept forgetting it. Kept forgetting to buy it, and then I wake up one day and it's like Marvel's Avengers coming to Game Pass, and I thought Game Pass is insane. It's insane.
Tuesday you had this the deals with gold, from Larry Major Nelson, who put it on, and I was like, okay, it's on sale now, because I wanted to give it a try, and and I was like, okay, it's on sale, and I was gonna check it out, and then at work, I was at work, and then suddenly I see all the tweets, it's in Game Pass the 30th, and I was like, okay. Then I won't buy it. I'm gonna try it on Game Pass. It's perfect, man. And Scarlet Nexus is in Game Pass today.
Yep.
I bought it. I pre-ordered it on disc, but I'm saving those RPG and Sega games on disc. So I was gonna buy it eventually anyway. But please try it out, Scarlet Nexus. It's really, really a great game. Really great game. It's the combat is smooth. The graphics are phenomenal. It's near the style of Persona. It's really, really good.
Yeah, really awesome game.
That's my past 2 weeks, I think. Oh, and of course the Halo Infinite beta this weekend. I was hooked. Yeah. It was a shame. It was a shame we didn't have like the entire days. That was a problem because it was my weekend off. I had to wait for 7 p.m. here. And then you could start it. Not before. I was like, I want to play all day, man. It's so good. It's so good. It has all the positive things from every Halo before. It's so good. The gameplay is so smooth. The graphics are perfect. The new map, Behemoth, it's awesome. It's oh man, I just can't wait for 8 December, man. I need it. I need it. I need it.
Awesome stuff. Next up, of course, Patje, you've had a very good day today, but let people know what's been going on and what you've been playing.
Well, I didn't play that much games lately because I was learning for my test for my car, And I can say, guys, I passed the test. So today, spent all day at a class that are learning new stuff. And finally, after the 5th time, yeah, it was the 5th time, I passed it. So I'm super happy, guys. And I want to do a shout out to my fiance, Pink Vibes, as you guys know her. She supported me from the beginning, and yeah, man, I'm super happy with it. So I cannot wait to get the other tests that I need to do, the exam, and I hope I'll pass it. So yeah, that's like what I've been doing lately. A lot of learning and stuff. I played a few games, Halo Infinite, of course.
Yeah.
This was actually the first time that I play Halo, and I like it. It's really, the game looks good, plays good. The combat feels awesome. So I also cannot wait till December 8th when it launches, and I already have it in my library waiting to get downloaded. Yeah, and I've also been playing some Formula 1 2020 that was on the Gamepass. Love it. I'm a big Formula 1 fan, so it's worth it to play it. And of course on PUBG, streamed it a few days ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing most of the last week, 2 weeks or something. So
yeah. Awesome stuff. Before we introduce Alan, we have a comment here from Dave Prian in the chat. It says, Alan needs to get some gaming background. We know where he can get some free swag.
See, this is where I fight that balance of living in the 1-bedroom apartment and having it be my office, my gym, everything, where at the end of the day, my wife gets to say what goes on the wall. And that there is like our guest book from our wedding. So that's the background I'm getting for today.
I was hoping it was a hint, like the Phil Spencer shelf. I was maybe it should have been a hint, you know. Like
I'm sure, you know, you add up those numbers. I'm sure there's a hint somewhere. You tell me when you figure it out, though.
18 September 2022.
Yeah,
we have Hellblade 2 launching.
There's something in there. You tell, yeah. Somehow, Phil got those numbers on there, you know?
Yeah.
Before the show, he didn't even realize Alan
exactly.
was just like, what's Phil doing walking down the street?
Yeah.
Why is Phil Spencer in my apartment hanging some kind of thing here? Okay, sure, whatever.
He's right next to you. He's next to you. I know it for sure.
Awesome stuff. But yes, Alan, welcome to the show. It's an awesome to have you here. Of course, I was recommended by obviously great friend of the show there, Dave Prian, who was on our show a few months back, and he recommended you straight away. The first name actually that he recommended through, and obviously messaged you straight away there. Things have been very hectic, of course, over at Xbox with a lot of things going on, but that's always good news for us as gamers, hearing that you guys are just really busy and there's a lot of interesting and cool things in the works. So that was absolutely no problem waiting for that one, because to me, if you said can't do it because we're having a really bad time, that's no, the opposite. Quite the opposite. Exactly. We're working on some really cool stuff. So I was like, yeah, you just whenever you're free, we're happy to have you. But yeah, awesome to have you, brother. And if you let people know, of course, what you've been up to, and if you have had a chance recently to get some gaming in.
Oh yeah, man. Gaming always. That's like a non-negotiable. I'm the type that gets really fixated on a game. So, and I'm talking about for like years. I've been on Apex Legends grind for 2.5 years now. Oh man, it's nonstop. I've got my crew. We do that like at least 3 times a week. We spend 2 or 3 hours grinding through. I'm like a rankaholic is what I call myself. So it's like one game in pubs. Let's jump into ranked. Not to say that we achieve a very high ranking. We get usually stuck in like gold, platinum level. But always looking for the competitive edge. Yeah.
Do you also play with Kelly Apex?
Oh yeah, Kellosaurus.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story about that one. How we became friends, because we didn't know each other before we started playing Apex together. And then MLB The Show. I love sports. Anytime I can get my hands on a sports game, and The Show was one that like I couldn't get my hands on because it wasn't on Xbox. And when that news came out, I was like, sign me up. David is tuning in. I remember telling David, I don't know how the heck MLB hitters actually hit a baseball. Like, I can't even do it in the show.
No, I tried it as well. And being from the UK, I don't even understand the rules. So I was like,
yeah. I think my wife, I'm doing the like player mode, and I was very optimistic that I could put it up. I think like Hall of Fame is the highest difficulty. Yeah. And one day she came home from work and she told me, she's like, I can tell that you suck at that game, because every time you're playing it, all you say is curse words. I'm like, yeah. And she said, why don't you just reduce the difficulty? And usually she has the best thoughts, so I did. And I've enjoyed it so much more. But it is such a good game. Can't get my hands off of it. And Halo, oh, dude, that preview, good gosh. I mean, when I first came onto the team, we had a group of about, I don't know, 10, 12 of us that would play Halo just about every day. And with all the new games that came out, it's been a while since Halo 5. We'd lost a little bit of that connection in playing Halo. Our WhatsApp is just blowing up with like, cannot wait for this game. Like, yeah. Come on, let's go. I'm ready to sign my life up and away to this game. Avengers, gosh, super excited for that one. Another one, I was saying this earlier, when you were talking about it, like, I wanted to buy it. I kept forgetting it. Gamepass makes all of our dreams come true. So can't wait to get my hands on that one. And we were talking about it, Forza Horizon 5, the next one in Mexico, man, the homeland. Cannot wait to drive through that and enjoy that game. I've not played Forza Horizon before, so I'm just super stoked to get my hands on that. And when you think about the games we have to play today, the games that are coming, I think my wife is going to tune into at some point if she's not listening already. I apologize for the amount of time I spend gaming, but got to do what you got to do.
It's part of work. It's part of work.
Yeah, it's part of me, man.
It's research. It's all research.
Yeah, but it's crazy, right? We have the holiday incoming at the end of the year, and you have Halo Infinite and Forza Horizon 5. It's crazy, man. And probably Crossfire X as well. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's like I'm on the hardware side. I don't get to see the plans for what Game Pass has coming, and I actually like that more because it reminds me, those days like, what's next? Every month I feel that way. I'm like, what are you guys gonna announce? Like, what am I gonna download next?
I was gonna say, I think hopefully Dave can put in the message through to the marketing team, but I miss Melissa McGamepass. Like, she seems to have disappeared.
Oh yeah.
Where's she gone? Where is Melissa McGamepass gone?
It's like
the DC on Twitter.
Yeah, it's like Clippy, man. They never leave. They'll pop back up every once in a while. So yeah, that's everything I've been gaming up to. Like you said, work has been really busy. One of the biggest pieces of beauty around here is that we always have fun stuff going on, man.
Yes.
As one door, the door never closes. It's always open. Ideas are always flowing, and this team is just full of rock stars trying to make everything we can come true.
Yeah, most definitely. To be fair, I want to shout out to Dave, actually, because the last time he was on, obviously it was a few months back now, and he was speaking at the time about working to get the auto low latency into the previous controllers, and I didn't expect them to manage to get it to work on the original controller, like the original Xbox One controller, the VCR, as we fondly refer it to, because he said there could be difficulties trying to get the low latency and things like that to work with that particular controller, because just obviously with the internals. But the fact that he's managed to do it, absolutely hats off, because that's a really big update. Since the Series X released, I've been playing more on the Series S and X controller than I have the Elite Series 2, because you notice that low latency. And it's so you don't realize it until you've used both, and then you go over to the Series X controller and you're like, this is so much more responsive. Then you try to play on the other controller and you're like, oh, this feels like sluggish. I don't know what it is. So I can't wait for that to actually come out of, I think it's in preview at the moment, to come out of preview and be launched kind of universally for everybody, so that particular update goes live, because that's going to make a world of difference for everybody. Absolutely awesome.
I love to hear that.
Yeah, it is. It's really great.
It's crazy, right? I mean, if you look at the Xbox One controller and then the Series X, right?
Yeah.
It's just minor changes, but it feels so different, especially, the bumpers and the triggers, on the Series X controller. It's so good, man. It's just, it's almost the same, but for some reason, I only want to play with this now. I can't use the Elite anymore because this is better. It fits my hands better than the Elite, It's crazy, but
I was fortunate to work on both of them, so I'm like, I amen to everything you're saying, brother. They're all great.
Yeah, but it's great. It's crazy, right? I mean, it's just, if you have the bumpers and the triggers, the difference with the Xbox One controller, the normal one, it's huge. But the controller is almost, the same shape. If when it was how you say that, teased, the Xbox Series X, and you saw the controller, I was like, oh, it's the same controller. It's a good thing. And I was like, okay, so I have the same controller. I can keep my controllers. It's just a share button, right?
Yeah.
That was my first thought. But when you hold it, the difference is so big. While the adjustments are minor, I think it's crazy, man. It's great work what you have done. And this is the best controller.
When we kicked off that project, one of the real questions you have to ask yourself is, how do you take greatness and make it even greater, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, Xbox One controller, right? Amazing controller. We could all agree on that. And then we say, okay, new generation of consoles, we need a new controller. And you draft every idea out there, and it's very quickly you're like, man, we've made such a great controller. And then it becomes that fine tuning, exactly what you're talking about, man. And we wanted to make sure that the familiarity that millions and millions of people had already experienced with the first control, like the Xbox One controller, wasn't lost, right? Like it was already such a great product. Then it becomes into those fine-tuning aspects of the product development journey.
Exactly, and obviously that old adage, you don't fix what isn't broken, and the general aspect of the Xbox controller itself, it was perfect. Obviously, it was one of the most successful, should we say, controllers or peripherals there was for Xbox, bar none. I mean, it ended up being slightly above the 360 controller, and that one is still universally loved across the board. Of course, the Duke isn't loved so much as it was.
Love the Duke, man.
It wasn't it wasn't physically the greatest of controllers because it was monstrous, but it's got that Hall of Fame status.
Everybody remembers their initial Duke experience. I was a kid, man. I was in 4th grade, and I remember playing on the Duke for 3 or 4 years, whatever it was, and then I didn't see another one until I got to the team here at Xbox, and I remember thinking, how did I play on this thing? I was like a little kid, man. But at the time, you couldn't have made me feel any different that it was the best thing that had ever been made, man.
It was crazy, right? I mean, here in Holland, I used to play on Sega consoles, like the Saturn, the Dreamcast. And you always had PlayStation, Sega, Nintendo. And then Xbox came, and there's this store in Rotterdam. It was Future Zone, and they had this display, with Xbox with Halo, right? And Rally Sport Challenge was on it. And what's the flying game? Blazing Angels. No, Crimson Skies. Demos. And I was like, I grabbed the controller. I was like, Dan, those American people must be fucking huge, man. Because how the hell do you hold a controller like that? If you're used to the Japanese controllers, right? And then you have this Duke thing. But I bought it straight away, man. Because Halo, sucked me in. And I couldn't let go. But the Duke is still a great controller, It's still a great controller. And I loved it. Is that Hyperkin or something?
Yes.
They now make this Halo special one with the display in the Duke controller.
Oh, I haven't seen that, really.
Oh yeah, they've got 2.
Yeah.
Actually, they've launched 3 now, so they've got 2 Xbox 20th anniversary ones on pre-order, and a Cortana one, which has the Cortana animation in the middle of it.
Yeah, the purple one.
Yep.
I think we could all agree there's a lot of display space there, man. On the Duke controller.
But it looks amazing. But I just gonna order it, for the collecting. That's it. Because that's something that is happening since the Xbox, right? I mean, the controller collecting. Who did it back in the early days? You know, these days everybody has like, I'm the same, but you know, like thousands of controllers. You know,
oh yeah, man. And crazy. You know, when we were building out the Series S and X controller platform, that was something that we like took very, very much as a pillar of our evolution. We know how much enjoyment people get, and we all get from these special limited edition controllers, and we wanted to make sure from the get-go that we would have different colors and different offerings for our customers. I mean, you talk about even like the recent XBL announcement, right? Like this is all about being able to display or portray your personality through a controller, which I personally love. I'm like, I didn't even realize that my controller could speak about who I am so clearly, but you can. And we wanted to make sure that from the start of a new generation of controllers that aspect of being able to collect or to even controller was there right off the bat.
Oh, we've got a little bit of sluggishness going on here. I don't know what's happened there.
Yes.
It's stabled out a little bit now, I think. There we go. Yeah, I think that was StreamYard. Strange.
Okay.
Well, we're good to go.
Awesome. We're safe. We're safe.
We're safe. Yeah, that was just StreamYard went really weird there. I was like, uh-oh. What's going on here? But we're good. Yeah, I mean, what I want to dive into now, Allan, is your backstory into essentially coming to Xbox in the first place, where you come from, and your affinity with Xbox, your dream of being at Xbox. So tell us about your backstory, your history, where you come from, and how you got into where you are now.
Totally. So I can tell you, the past 20 years of my life, we'll start from the beginning. Del Rio, Texas. Shout out to Del Rio if anybody's tuning in from there. That is where I was born and raised, on the border in Texas, on the border of Mexico. And I had kind of have to paint the picture of how close to the border. My house, I think, is a mile from the Rio Grande that separates the two countries. So right there,
Right, that's redemption.
Yeah. And born and raised there, man. It's where my parents were from. It's a really wonderful community town that helped shape my life. As far as how I got started with my love, passion for Xbox, it was actually I don't know if it was a mistake. It was an accident. Summer of 2001, it had been a while since I had a new game. I was on the N64, and I was a nine-year-old. I kind of bugged my mom enough that she would take me to go buy a new game, and we showed up at the electronics boutique. So before GameStop, EB Games, we only had one video game store in the city, and we showed up, and it was like, okay, I don't even know what game it was. I wanted some game, and the sales clerk said, "Oh, well, have you heard about this new video game console?" And in my head, up to that point, the only thing I had known was Nintendo. So I was like, boom, new Nintendo. Sign me up. And my mom, I remember we were standing in front of this little counter, with that typical all glass casing where you see all the stuff. And they had this pamphlet out in front of us, and my mom telling mijo is a word we use a bunch in in Spanish. Mijo, you could either take $50 and get the game, or $50 and get this new Nintendo. I mean, my mom didn't know what it was either. And I mean, lighten up, man. New Nintendo, let's go. So put $50 down. What she didn't explain to me is I also signed up for a bunch of chores to earn the rest of the money to pay, because it wasn't a $50 console. It was a lot more than that. So sure enough, cleaning around the house, mainly doing weekend yard work with my dad, and in my head I did a lot of work. I'm pretty sure that I would show up, complain a little bit, and at the end of the day my dad would give me $20 and be like, you earned it, so did all that. And November 15th 2001, day I'll never forget, because number of reasons. My little sister's birthday, so we were celebrating her birthday, and we went to Applebee's for dinner to do so, because it was in the mall where I had to go pick up my Xbox. Still didn't know it was an Xbox. Thought I was going to go pick up my Nintendo.
Okay.
Yeah. Showed up. It was like Xbox. I was like, cool. Let's go home. We had to go celebrate my sister's birthday, so we ate dinner. Got home, and my brothers, Alex and Fredo, if you're listening in, I will never forget the fact that I brought that Xbox home and I didn't get to play it for a day because they took it to their room and put Halo in, and I watched them play Halo. Dude, I was a kid, so I didn't know any better, but I look back now and I'm like, how? I'm surprised I wasn't mad or something. Like, hey, this is my thing. And older brothers being older brothers, ours. But since then, man, it was Halo, it was NFL Fever, it was Project Gotham Racing.
Oh man,
dude. I mean, I say that day changed my life, man. November 15th, 2001 changed my life. It was the way I connected with people. Heck, my brothers and I, growing up, a large part of our relationship was them teaching me how to play video games, me eventually learning how to always beat them in video games, type of thing. My sister and I would play video games.
The roles always reverse in the end.
Oh, yeah. Same thing with my little sister, like playing video games with her. And it has gone through, I've definitely owned every generation of console. So Xbox 360, One, all of the different ones. And when I went to college, I was studying mechanical engineering. And I had fallen off the gaming scene for a little bit. Like I wasn't gaming very much. It was college, there's a bunch of other things going on. And we had an assignment, and my wife, it was like, apply for your dream job. We were taking some kind of business class as a side class in our engineering program. And, I remember saying, like, I don't know what my dream job was. My dream job growing up was to be up until I was 16, a professional athlete. And it became very obvious really quickly that I wasn't gonna be a professional athlete. And then I went and got this mechanical engineering degree. And, she asked, what did you enjoy growing up? And it was fascinating because at the time I probably hadn't gamed in like a couple of months. And the first thing that popped into my head was, I always told myself I wanted to work on the Xbox. Like I love that thing. Even if I was not actively gaming, it was still a piece of my heart, And I think that was probably one of my first lessons in following my wife's advice, because I remember me dismissing it. Like, I'm a kid from like Del Rio, Texas, man. How the heck am I ever going to get to Xbox? And her automatically saying, it's like a class assignment. You don't like, all you have to do is do it and you pass the assignment, like stop worrying about what can and can't happen. So didn't even know what mechanical engineer could do at Microsoft. I just wanted to go work on the Xbox. So I applied and went through many interviews and all that. That was like 2012, 2013. And was blessed with the opportunity to be extended an internship at Microsoft. So the way it works here is when you're like an intern, new hire level, you don't pick a team. Like you kind of do the general interview process, and then you show up for your first day having no idea who you're going to work for. You're like, okay, I'll meet my manager or whatnot. Dude, showing up and seeing my manager's name at that point, it was like LinkedIn was already a thing. Going on LinkedIn and it says, Senior Director, Mechanical Engineering, Xbox Console Development. I just about lost myself. I remember just being like, this is a childhood dream come true. Like I could not have scripted this any better. That I'm just a kid from a small town, man. And the cards fell the way they did, and I got here, and it was like being on cloud nine, and all the things that I thought it would be, as far as like being able to work on it, just being a fan who gets to work on something you're passionate about. Super fulfilling, and I just celebrated 7 years full time. So
nice.
When I left,
congrats.
Thank you. When I left home, I can think about telling my parents, I'll probably be back in like 5 years. Like, Seattle's far away from Del Rio. It's far away from Texas. And they were just up here a couple of weeks ago, and having that conversation of, I liked it a lot more than I thought. I don't know. Baby's coming home immediately, man. So yeah, it's been my journey, dude. Started off from the day Xbox launched, and didn't realize that there would be some green flowing through these veins. And now I'm like, I don't ever want it to leave, man.
So what was it like then going from should we say, graduating from internship on that team to going full time? What was that feeling like?
You felt like at Microsoft in general, man, like the internship program is very not serious, and like it's like very rigorous or something. Like I mean, it's a bunch of fun. You have loads of excitement through it all, and the projects you actually get to work on like projects that see customers one day, which is really, fascinating, having gone through it. But the program takes it very serious, as in they want a majority. Like if we had it our way, 100% of interns would convert into full-time hires, right? Like that it's almost like it's a trial period. Does the intern fit within our culture, but also at the same time, does like the intern themselves enjoy being here, type of thing? Do they find fulfillment? So I remember coming into it and having known all this, because we're very open about it, thinking like, oh, even if I don't work on the Xbox team as an intern, as long as I can get hired at Microsoft, like I think I could eventually find my way there. Like I tend to be the person who's willing to knock on like anyone's door, even if I know you're going to yell at me to go away. I'm like, I just got to knock. And the day I found out, that first day when I was going to be on the Xbox team, it was like mission zero. Like I just gotta figure out some kind of way to, like I tell myself, convince them to hire me. So I was just incredibly blessed. I think 4 days before my final day, I had a final check-in with like a little like recruiter counterpart who gets matched with you throughout your entire internship process, and they extended the full-time offer. And I had to take just enough time to get out of the building and be like, oh my God, call my parents. I can't believe I did it. Day that changed my life forever. That's for sure, man. One of those you can't forget.
Well, that's awesome stuff. That's absolutely awesome. One thing I do like to see as well from Xbox as a whole as well, and especially even more recently, is when you see every month they do another kind of heritage month as well. So kind of celebrating different diversities, different kind of areas, whether it's Spanish, whether it's people of color, anything in between, whether it's sexuality, but it's just like celebrating different backgrounds every time. And I just see, obviously you get the emails through every time, especially being part of the ambassador program. And it's like, right, okay, well, like, are you Latin American? I'm like, well, no, I'm not. I can't give you a story this month. Are you a person of color? I am not a person of color. No, I cannot give you a story this month. I am sorry. When you come round to the Dutch,
with the bald and beard.
Yeah, the bald and beard. Yeah. Us brothers, man. The bald and beard brothers.
Yeah,
we're here.
But it's great to see them celebrate like all of that and give people kind of limelight, and different creators and different people that work for Xbox and different ambassadors, and just like all of their stories and how they come to it. And I mean, what's it like being, obviously, just seeing that as well from your perspective?
It's welcoming, man. I will say that I grew up in a community of small town on the border of Mexico, right? Like most of the people there are at some point in their generational cycles, whether it was grandparents, great-grandparents, or themselves, immigrated from Mexico to Del Rio. And it was a culture shock to move away from it all. I went to school in Austin, Texas, and like college is it's like a blurry time, man. You're like having a bunch of fun. You're not recognizing anything. Blurry for many ways. Yeah, exactly. And then you move to Seattle, and you're like, whoa, I'm a far away from home. Oh, I don't just have a community that I was born and raised in here, and then even at Microsoft, tens of thousands of people, I don't know who, and Xbox's commitment to highlighting and showcasing the different backgrounds, heritages, affiliations, all around the world. It does provide this, I don't know, like when it's cold and you get that warm blanket and you're like, oh, this just feels good. Like that aspect of it, to know that we practice what we preach, which is, access to gaming to everyone around the world. And what is there, 7-8 billion people in this world? They come in all sorts of colors, shapes, backgrounds, right? And we want to make sure that everybody, regardless of what your background may be, you feel like Xbox is a home for you.
100%.
Yeah. So I personally, I love it. Like Hispanic Heritage Month right now, right? Shout out to my Hispanics out there in the world. 10 years ago, if you would have ever told me that Xbox would be celebrating something like that, like, there's no way. Like, those big companies don't care. Seeing it now, you're like, we shouldn't have it any other way. This should be the norm for all of us, right? So I'd love to see Xbox on the bleeding edge of making sure that's the case.
Yeah, almost definitely.
It's great, I mean, if you look at Danny Pena, the guy from Game Attack Radio.
Oh yeah,
he even
Times Square the other day, man.
Yeah, I mean, his face is in Times Square. It's crazy, man. How big the gaming is these days.
Sure, man.
Yeah,
and I'll speak. I don't know, like Danny Pena. I've never met him, and I'm not gonna put words in his mouth. I'll speak from my own train of thought. When I see Danny Pena on that, it's like, damn. So we can do that. Like,
yeah,
those of us of our backgrounds that didn't 20 years ago. That wasn't the case, man. You didn't see Latinos or Hispanics up on a board in Times Square. So when you see that stuff happen.
But not even gamers in general, right? We were all just crazy nerds.
Yeah, man.
And a screen. Why the fuck are you on the screen gaming? Go outside, motherfucker. And now everybody's a gamer. It's crazy what happens. In what 10 years maybe?
For sure,
not even 10 years. And suddenly everybody's a gamer, man. It's crazy.
But I love my. Mom, I love you. So before I tell this story, I need you to know that I laugh at her all the time because there were so many times growing up where it was just like doing those video games, right? Like, go do your schoolwork. Those video games are not going to be your future. And then fast forward 10, 15 years, I'm like, Mom, guess what my future is? Video games. So yeah, it is, between content creation, games, all the different, heck, even like now how many independent like game developers are on our platform, right? Like there's so many avenues now that Xbox is investing in to make sure that regardless of how you develop, where you came from, what you do, like we're here for you.
Yeah, we try to cover that as well. To be honest, we're really big proponents of ID, independent developers, and have been for quite some time. We've had obviously Joe from Song of Iron on the show and multiple times. Thomas Salah for the Falcon, he has been on the show. Delilah Studios has been on the show for Battletoads. So we've kind of covered as many as we can. We've got a few more kind of that we try to bring on. But absolutely honestly love ID. And next year we're hosting our second independent, community created independent showcase for indie games. Last one included 75 games showcasing from developers of all sizes. Independent developers, of course, from one-man bands that are just releasing their first projects all the way up, so showcasing their games and getting them all involved as well. So that was absolutely awesome to see, and we're doing it again next year, so we're going to make that even bigger and better. But again, it's about showcasing so many different things from so many different backgrounds and all their different ideas. And again, like you mentioned there, the diversity. And I think Phil, again, to not to quote Phil Spencer, because I can't quote him directly, but he was mentioning kind of over in India, etc. as well. And that's not really an area we'd really looked at or considered in much depth before as a community. But there is such a breadth of development possibilities out there with different ideas, different stories to tell, different creativity to tell from their perspective as well, and that's really exciting to see. From yourself as well, there is a game that we've mentioned just beforehand that is based in your country that you have never played before, and that is, of course, Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah.
When you saw that announcement, you saw kind of even just the map and the locations that they chose to kind of cover within the map. Of course, it's condensed, but try to get the best of everything in there. And then, of course, look into the more of the heritage as well behind it, making sure things were as detailed and as on point as they could be. But also then get the artists and things involved as well. So, which is really awesome to see, and that's a really nice addition. But when you saw that, what were your thoughts? Because it's specifically coming from someone that hasn't played Horizon before and is now looking at Horizon and going, "Yep, yeah, I'm going to pick that
up." My first thought was, no way. Like, it didn't seem real, right? You're like, in what world did I think that a game would be showcased that way to the global scale in Mexico? And like right off that, like sticker shock, basically. Off the bat, it's like, I don't know what Forza Horizon is going to do. I don't know what they have done. I know they're super successful. I am a fan for life now. Day one, I will be ripping through the roads of Mexico, man, and enjoying it. And I think that is, the control. I had to check. I was like, did we already announce this controller? I forget. The Forza Horizon controller.
Yes.
Yeah. Pre-ordered.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Being involved with the team. I didn't work directly on it, but I hear enough about it, and they're relaying the information from the Forza Horizon team that making sure that it was culturally accurate was something that was very important to them. So you see, I remember at the announce talking about like the local artists that they used, even local voice actors, things in that nature. Every aspect of that, from the game to the controller itself, it was taken into consideration that we were respecting and accurately representing the culture that game is going to be immersed in. I am totally biased to being excited about it. But I was a fan immediately, and I think it is just wonderful. Not even just for Mexico, man, for all of Latin America to be a showcase in such a fun way.
Yeah, and such a great light. And to be fair, it's like I say, I've had the privilege of being able to get over and go to Mexico on 4 occasions so far. I say so far because it's most definitely not the last time I'll be there. Like, it's every 2 years I try to get there, and if it wasn't for COVID, I would have already been there again. But
that's like anyone I've talked to who's gone, they always come back and they talk about how much fun and how nice people are. And I say the same thing. I'm like, we take care of each other, man. We got you. You come, mi casa, su casa type of thing,
Yeah. The food, the culture, the landscape, the obviously the Caribbean. You can never get bored of the Caribbean Sea and seeing those crystal blue waters. Like,
for sure, man.
Unbelievable. And then, of course, then you go into the cave diving and everything in between. But I've, like I say, like when I've seen sections of the map that was unveiled as well, and seen like the jungles and things like that. Like I've went through all the jungles and seen things like that, and it's insane. Like and hearing the noises when I put the headset on, they were like, listen to the noise of this, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty accurate. Like, that's exactly what it sounds like. Like, I feel like I'm
Dutch, you're gonna feel like you're on vacation all over again in that game, man.
Literally can't wait. Awesome. Literally can't wait. No, absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. For yourself, of course, going on from starting to work at Xbox, becoming a full-time engineer, you then went on to become an Xbox program manager. So how was the transition from being a mechanical engineer to Xbox program manager? What was that transition like, and how did that opportunity come to you?
It was very confusing, man. It's like full transparency. 2-3 years into my mechanical engineering career, I remember thinking like, I'll never be a PM, mainly because I didn't know what they did, but I was like, oh, I enjoy my mechanical engineering, I'll do this. And then at some point I was looking for something different. I've been a mechanical engineer for 3 years. And I wanted to stay with the team. It's like, it's kind of, there's only so many mechanical engineers, things to do on the Xbox. And I'm not the one you want programming software. Yeah, definitely not me. And it was people like Dave Preen, Jason Ronald, and a host of others that Kareem Chowdhury, actually, our VP for cloud gaming. He was the first one to tell me. He was asking me, what are you interested in? And that guy was so nice. I honestly walked into him in the hallway one day and just said, "Hey, Kareem, I've seen you on TV before. I would love to talk to you." He was like, "Okay, set up some time." But I was totally in this I called it career puberty, where I didn't know what I wanted to do. Life was changing, this and that.
Yeah.
And I had this constant theme of people telling me, I think you should give program management a try. And I was in the midst of planning a wedding, so I was like, I just need to have some stability in my job. And but I took note, okay, program management, maybe it's something I'll look into. The day I got back from my wedding, I had my first program management boss, who I didn't really know, but he reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you have some time to talk?" Yeah, they have this opportunity. The Elite Series 2 had a need for a program manager. And truthfully, my decision was that's a pretty darn cool program to work on. Heck yeah, sign me up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll try it out. And if I don't like it, I guess I could always leave, and what I ended up loving so much about the program management role versus my previous engineering role was that the interconnectivity with the team I was more exposed to, right? So not only was I having conversations with mechanical and electrical engineers, which was pretty typical in my first role, but also with the marketing team and the finance team and the manufacturing teams. And I guess one of my specialties, my stronger traits is being more of a Swiss Army knife. Universal remote, you just program me and I can go do something. I remember a year into it thinking, I'm so I loved my first job. This one, I didn't even think I could love what I'm doing even more. And I found that, so Elite Series 2, the Series S and X controller. I was telling Dutch earlier, I spent some time working on the wireless headset. I've spent time working on the special limited edition controllers. And then on top of that, leveraging some of my mechanical engineering knowledge on the console space, because that's what I worked on the mechanical engineering team, was specifically on consoles, and still being not holding a program management role with them, but still being tied into and being able to provide some input. I don't know if it's a meme or a GIF or something where it's squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. That's kind of what my life can be like around here, because there's just so much exciting things to do. And from, at least in my view, that from the program management role, it has been really fulfilling to kind of be able to squirrel a bunch on a number of different projects.
So what is your favorite controller project you worked on? The special editions?
Special editions. I didn't see it end to end, but that Halo Elite controller is sick, man.
The new one.
Yeah, it is sick.
Yeah.
I remember going through and seeing it so I when we did the initial project proposal and product definition type of thing, I was the program manager at that time. And my job was on the table the first time that the design team, you guys, if you follow special and limited edition controllers, Monique Chatterjee, she is a masterful artist when it comes to our controllers, and seeing it and just thinking there's no way it can be that great. And then seeing it for the first time, oh my gosh. And Halo's the first game I ever played on Xbox, so it is at the core of my heart, right?
Yeah.
And it was this beautiful merger of the first project I had been a program manager on, which is the Elite Series 2, and this game that will forever have my heart. Halo and Super Mario Brothers are always going to be number 1A and 1B in my life. And I don't know.
Not Gears?
I love Gears, but Super Mario Bros. that was what I learned to play on, and then Halo is like what got me coming to Xbox over and over again. So yeah, like to see that little merger of those two things with seeing those two things come together was awesome. And then we've seen the fan response since we announced them, which at the end of the day just makes like everything we do around here worth it to see how excited people get.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Obviously you mentioned Monique there as well. Is she your little sister's in the chat there?
Hey, Kelly.
Good evening, Kelly.
Hello, little sister.
She's the greatest, man.
Yeah, Monique. Obviously, is she more involved in the obviously the design work as you mentioned there? So, is she the one that's behind the newest Halo Infinite console as well as the controller?
What I would say is that Monique is a magician on all of the special and limited edition hardware we make, whether it be controllers, consoles.
And has she found it difficult to surpass her feats with the Sea of Thieves controller?
I think every time she comes out with something, we tell her the same thing. Monique, you can't possibly top this. And then fast forward a few months, and it's like, okay, like, but you can't top this one. And it like I will give her credit because every one she sets the bar higher, and somehow she continues to leap over and reset that bar. It's kind of like watching those pole vaulters or the high jumpers in the Olympics, where you're like, you can't possibly jump over that one, and then they do it. And you're like, well, I don't like. You're not human.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy to see that like you said, you can that she makes something and you say that she cannot top it, and then she does it again and again and again, and that's so crazy to see that people are so busy focused on it, and that they achieve, like getting it better and better. It's pretty insane. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
What's your perfect the one, even if you haven't worked on controllers or a specific controller, what's your favorite limited edition for Xbox that you've seen or owned? Oh, that's a difficult one.
That is a difficult one. Oh man, that is. I remember I knew enough about it. The Gears controller, the Gears Elite controller, first Elite controller.
Oh, yes.
Oh man, they were doing these like very intricate laser etching type of things into the case, and like going and painting in it. And the first time I heard about it, I remember thinking like, is that really gonna look good? And then you see it, and whoa, it felt real. I was like, I feel like I'm in a Gears game holding this thing. So that one blew my mind, man. Oh, and the recent that Shimmer one.
Yes, the blue Shimmer.
Oh, dude. Like that one, first time I saw it, I thought, no other word, beautiful. It is a beautiful controller.
Oh yeah.
So those ones, I like the one who popped first off the bat was the Gears of War controller. Now that I think about it a little bit more, I think that Shimmer one is just like masterpiece.
Yeah. Well, 100%. Obviously of all the projects you've worked on, obviously we spoke to Dave about the headset as well. Was the headset, I think, did you pick that up later on in its life cycle? So it was like near the end of the project.
It was in between. So I was I was just coming off the Elite Series 2. We were starting to get the early builds, so like the early prototypes of that project done. And I was kind of in between programs and came in, and I was actually at the first prototype build that we did for the headset, and helping the team get just like the manufacturing and those early phases of the prototype process going. It was my first exposure to headset manufacturing, and audio is I like it's just a different beast, man. It's super cool. Like the tuning and everything. The counterpart on those, Eric Garcia, I remember I would sit with him and be like, I'm so glad that you're on these programs because you're so passionate about audio, which like I love it too, but like that's a science, right? So but as far as my involvement, it was earlier in the program, kind of like that mid phase as we go from this is a product we're going to go build to starting to build and prototype it and testing a bit, and then like I said, it's like a transition space. And at the time that they really started ramping up, I went and transitioned over to the Series S and X controller, and then we were just like two teams working in parallel from there.
Awesome stuff. Obviously, going from there, we're going to dive into your gaming career. So you mentioned, of course, that you were a big Nintendo fan. So, let's go back to the start then. What is obviously your favorite? And obviously you're a big Xbox fan from the start to finish. But what is your favorite kind of gaming memory in terms of overall grand scheme of things? Your first big gaming memory. Obviously, you mentioned being a big Nintendo fan. So, what's the big memory that kind of draws you back to that? Like got you into gaming in the first place?
Mortal Kombat fatalities. And always being like me and my brothers. My older brothers are twins, and they owned it was their Nintendo that I happened to play, and there was always this like, mom and dad are asleep, we can do a fatality now, and we're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, this is crazy, right? So that one was my first memory. I think the game that I come back to the most was Super Mario Brothers World.
Yes.
You remember like all the different lands, and as long as you could like go get Yoshi, you were in a great space, you know. So I spent a bunch of time on that, and I don't know why there was like a Michael Jordan Windy City basketball game that I don't know why we had, and I have vivid memories of playing that with like neighbors that lived down the street. Mortal Kombat and Super Mario Brothers were definitely what in my mind the GOAT. And anytime there's a Super Mario game, I buy it. And then same thing with Mortal Kombat. If a new one comes out, I go ahead and get lost in that for a while.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Like I really love the old Marios as well. Super Mario World 1 and Super Mario World 2 and having the different locations and spinning it around and seeing where you were going next, etc. I spent a lot of time on that. For yourself, was that on the Super Nintendo, or were you, again, when the OG Game Boy came out and you had like the big grey brick? Is that what you had as well? Had to play it in the daytime and you couldn't play it at night?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I was born in 92, so by the time I can remember things, I think my brothers had the Super Nintendo, the one with like the purple little things up front. I did have a Game Boy. I had multiple Game Boys. I think my parents realized really quickly, like as long as Christmas I just got like one video game, I was on top of the world for the next 6 months or whatever. I had the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, all those, and then the N64 came into our lives. And again, like these were all my brother's things, right?
GoldenEye.
Yeah, man.
The strangest feeling controller in the world, that N64 controller, mind. Like when you first saw that, everyone was just like, what?
What do I do with it? Yeah, this like joystick thing, right? Then we switched over to N64, and it was GoldenEye. It was Super Mario 64. Mario 64, Mario Party.
Mario Party.
Oh yeah, dude, could lose that.
The controller wrecker.
Yeah.
Smash A and B. Smash A and B.
My sister and I would spend so much time playing like Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Stadium, right? We would play those like little games like Clefairy. I can't remember, like little arcade games, right?
Yeah.
We'd just do that for hours. And then from there, I think like than the Xbox game. So that was kind of the tail end of my dominantly Nintendo fascination into the current Xbox fascination.
Yeah, and I think your sister says that she'll be extremely mad if you don't mention Rock Band at some point.
Yeah, that was on the Xbox, dude. The younger Carranzas, I could have sworn we were gonna go big time if Rock Band just would have if all of the processing of how terrible we were in real life could actually make its way into us auditioning somewhere. I'm sure that me and Kelly would have gone onto the main stage somewhere with music.
To be fair, I remember lots of really cool nights with friends playing on Rock Band until early in the morning. Like, it's just sort of room full of people, like someone on guitars, someone on drum, someone on this.
Do you remember? So I loved Rock Band from the aspect of being able to play with other people. Guitar Hero, though, dude, that was where it was at. And
Guitar
you would
Hero
get those.
Guitar Hero 3 was my
favorite. Oh yeah, and you'd get those nasty forearm cramps. You'd be like, I can't play the song anymore.
Or trying just to play Fire and Flames and never succeed.
No, feeling really good that you could play it on medium.
Yeah,
but you missed the best music game there is then, because you didn't own a Sega.
Oh, what game was that?
Samba de Amigo in Mexico with the carambas.
Yeah, man, I stumbled upon Guitar Hero. I remember my musical talents are. Like, they don't make it off the floor, man. Me and music were not, born to be
no, I'm exactly the same.
A showcase. Yeah. And the first time somebody was like, hey, I've got this Guitar Hero game, I thought, oh, I'll try it out. And it was immediate. I mean, it's awkward as can be at first, right? You're like, I don't know how to do this. And then you do it over and over again. I missed that game, Guitar Hero 3. I really
want them to bring it. Yeah, it's not the same. It's just not the same. Like, you need number 3 back. Like, I really hope that they do backwards compatibility for Guitar Hero 3. That would be like really good. I can't wait for
that. And the Rock Band guitar just didn't have the same feel. It's different.
Yeah, exactly. Like, 3 was the pinnacle, and all the music on 3 as well was just perfect.
Oh yeah.
But now you say that, Drew. It's been you could fit in ZZ Top, with the beard,
Oh yeah, you're like the 4th member of ZZ Top, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can throw Jason Ronald in there too, like his number 4 and 5.
Oh yeah.
It's funny that you say ZZ Top because that was like my dad's favorite band growing up, so I listened to ZZ Top a lot.
Oh yeah, my father listened to it as well. Yeah. His favorite band was Dire Straits, but he listened to ZZ Top as well. So
yeah, man, a lot of ZZ Top growing up, and of course, like Call of Duty. Played a bunch of that. That is one game that I have never been able to get good at, though. No matter how hard I try, and a lot of my friends are good at it. And I finally stopped trying to be. I'm just like, Call of Duty is one of those games that I play for the community and the connection with my friends who are playing it. It's like, we can jump in. I'll go. My kill death can be like 2 and 20 because I'm not very good at it.
You're like the bait. You're like, I'll distract
exactly. Yeah, like one of my buds who plays his gamer tag Sharpshooter. And we just call him Sharp, and I'm like, all right, Sharp, I'll run out there and I'll make sure all the attention's on me, and you just shoot the rest of them, okay? Like, let's make this work. So he'll go 30 and 2 while I'm like shooting 22.
Your mom is here, Alan.
My mom is here.
Your mom is here. Della Carranza.
Delia, yeah, that woman. I love you, Mom. I can't say that one enough. So glad to have you here.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely awesome. It is really nice to see the family come and support you as well. That's absolutely awesome.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah,
amazing.
Dude, between my parents teaching me how to game, my brothers teaching me how to game, my parents making sure that we had opportunities to game, and my sister being the kind of the punching bag of losing a lot of matches to me in gaming. Yeah. Without them, there would be this would not exist without them. So I love to have them here. And I remember when I sent the message to them, I was like, y'all better join because I want you guys to see it. So love to have them here.
No, they'll join you, so it's great to see, man.
Yeah, heck yeah.
It's really good to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you as well. We'll try to rock it. We'll try our best.
My mom's so personable. I wouldn't. It would not surprise me if a year that I tune into one of the weekly midweek mix-ups and my mom is on here. So I'm sure she'll find a way.
Awesome stuff. We've mentioned then the kind of basic going through there, but being such a big Xbox fan, what generation is your favorite from start to finish? It's always a contrasting one.
Because
that's a good one.
Like, there's been so many highs and for each different section that it could literally be anything.
I would say the 360 generation, because I was like, I mean, I didn't even know that Xbox wasn't like, this is probably not the most proud thing to say, but I didn't even realize Xbox wasn't a Nintendo until Xbox 360. Like, I thought it was like a Nintendo Xbox, you know?
Yeah.
So in the three, yeah, dude, hey, come on, give me some slack. I was like 10, 11 years old. But now in the 360 time frame, I mean, just the games coming out they were monumental, man. These like, and it was also the time where I was like in middle school and high school, so I can remember playing like FIFA and the FIFA graphics getting significantly better. All those sports games, I played a bunch of sports games. All the graphics started. It was in that moment that you were like, these are real. Like, this is real. These are real people, just like pixelated dots on a screen. And then of course, Halo 3. Spent a lot of time playing Halo 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, talking about Guitar Hero and Rock Band. That was like my most formative gaming years, where I think like in my head somewhere the brain wires connected and said, I'm a gamer for life. And
yeah, 100%.
So that would be my favorite generation.
Awesome.
It's what most people say, right? 360 is, I think, the most beloved Xbox console yet. I think.
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
so.
and it was really the takeoff of Xbox Live, man.
Yeah, 100%. That was the start. Now I've been on. I think I'm on 15 years of Xbox Live now, or something like that. Like, that's what I'm clocking up to. I think it's because Xbox has a nice little feature there where it tells you how long you've been on Xbox.
Oh yeah,
this is how long you've been paying for our online service.
I've got to be right around the same. And those the pain of your home network not being able, like, the lag of the 360 generation was very real, man. Oh, yeah. There'd be some of those days, and you're just happy to play online with your friends, man. But there'd be some of those days like, I don't. This is not helping me at all. Like, I actually can't play this game because of the lag is so bad. But you would just.
It was at the start of 360 as well, right? I mean, when you had an update of a game, it went updating while you were playing. You know, it was not like, we wait till he's finished and then we start to update. No, he's playing now. He's online, so we give him the update, right?
Yeah.
Here it comes, and then boom, disconnect. Oh man. Oh man, those days.
I can think back to those those Modern Warfare matches. Where I'd be playing with some of my like classmates that I was in school with, and it'd just be like.
Yeah.
You know. It was pretty bad.
I spent a small portion of the 360 era as well being an Xbox unofficial engineer as well. When the unfortunate Red Ring appeared, and I fixed numerous consoles that year.
So memories all around with that generation of consoles.
It was that, and you know what it is, that even with that though, it didn't detract from how great that generation was for Xbox. Like, that was such fond memories, and the only sad thing to take from it now is thinking, remember going through this, like, the server blade type like dashboard you used to have, and seeing all your friends online's avatars like awake, and
man,
and now you turn the 360 on now, and all the avatars are asleep, and it's like that's so sad.
night.
Yeah.
Or even like it's just those little things. It was such an innovative product. Like we took gaming and made it something you played with your friends next to you. It's like playing games worldwide, right? You introduce something like the dashboard, like playing. I can think of like
achievements,
playing like music while you played your game, stuff like that, right? Like there was so much going on that took gaming from being these cartridges that you blew on and stuck into the console to really being this like full-on entertainment center, like
and a community and a real community. And then that was obviously the introduction of the first real community game, which was 1 versus 100.
Oh yeah.
And that was absolutely awesome. And obviously then that was also the first one that, before Microsoft Rewards or Xbox Rewards as we know it now, that was the first rewards kind of program, because it was a case of, right, well, you compete versus 100 people in this quiz game and you win like points to go and spend on games and things like that. And it was, and I think even to this day, people are like, bring back 1 versus 100. Like, we want that. And I think it would still do really well. But even I remember the most basic of arcade games, Doritos Crash Course. Now, you must have played that.
Which one?
Doritos Crash Course.
Doritos Crash.
Yeah. Doritos.
Yes.
No.
You didn't play it?
I didn't play it.
It was, do you know like Takeshi's Castle, where like you go on this like thing and you've got to get to the other end of it without getting hit off. It was like an online game like that, but with friends, and you've got to try and get to the end, and it was like this ragdoll physics. It was just this free downloadable game that was just insane.
Like I said, dude, I'm notorious for getting fixated on certain games.
Yeah.
To a fault. Most of my friends are like, for instance, Apex or like MLB The Show, and I'm like, no, I love this game. When you talk about community, it's my favorite part about working on Xbox. Like, childhood dream, love that. It's rare that you work on something that you can impact millions to billions of people on, right? And at times I can get real frustrated with games because I want to be better at them. But at the end of the day, video games are about bringing enjoyment, man. All we want to do is bring enjoyment to people and connect people and have fun, right?
You're doing one great job this generation. That's for sure.
We're trying our hardest, man. We just want to bring joy to the world. We all need it. So anyway, we can provide it. It's a great thing.
You're doing a great job, Allan. That's a
team, man. It's a team thing. It's like a true team fully bought into the vision, which is amazing.
No, it really is. It's like you mentioned with community as well, specifically over the tail end of the last generation coming into this generation, the real drive from the team as a whole at Xbox, and I mentioned this before as well, the interactivity and the connectivity and on not just social media, but obviously privately and DMs and speaking to to those that work at Xbox, whether it be like the people that are just kind of community managers or Xbox ambassadors, and then you go all the way up to hierarchy like Aaron Greenberg and Jason Ronald and all of those, and like obviously I always follow them, they follow me, vice versa. The only one that I still don't have, and I think that's a lot of people that don't have that, is Phil. Yeah,
Xbox
he's
P3,
the odd man out. Yeah, he's the odd man out. You're the only one that still doesn't. So I'm waiting.
Yeah, man.
But no, they're absolutely awesome, and they're exactly the same. Like with Jason, if we ever, because obviously he works primarily on kind of any issues with the consoles and things himself as well. If we've got any issues like that, we can always just drop him a quick DM and say, "Oh, have you noticed this?" And he's like, "Yeah, we're either working on it," or "No, I haven't picked that up. Have you got anything else you can send to us, and we'll do this." And it's so much more streamlined, and I haven't in gaming across all platforms as well, and of course being a content creator, you start to notice the way different platforms and how they build their communities differ. And Xbox really stands out in the way that they really do kind of really support the community in every aspect. And by support, I don't mean like trying to just lift everybody up, etc. But goes from the little things. Like obviously, I unveiled a console on Twitter there that I custom designed for a friend, the Sea of Thieves console, that I put on Twitter before, and obviously Rare interacted with it, and Xbox social media interacted with it, and obviously interacted with the person that I did it with, and just said, "Oh, you're obviously very deserving of it. Like, enjoy it, etc." And Joel Nate from Rare, he tweeted it out and everything. So, like, it's a big community. When I did the Hellblade console, it was exactly the same. Ninja Theory retweeted it and said, "Where can we get one?" And it's like you just don't see that. Again, likewise, in the opposite side, the support isn't so much there. I can put out the same type of thing, and it happens. But it's like so supportive of the community and what they do, and the fans, and when they put out fan artwork and things like that, they're just so eager to show what the community is doing and support their community as much as we're supporting them, and that's something that is really noticeable, regardless of where they're coming from. And another great thing for me, noticing specifically this generation as well, is the focus on accessibility for everybody, regardless of their ability. Whether that be for and I know one as well, Sightless Combat. He's a completely blind gamer, like zero vision at all, but he plays Gears of War. He's absolutely awesome. Like I have no idea, absolutely no idea, but he goes by sound specifically, and he's got a directional thing, so it tells him where things are happening. And I'm like, I would be terrible at that.
Dude,
like,
oh yeah,
unbelievable! It's unbelievable. But the accessibility
it's the same as
that provides, go on.
The friend of Xbox Mick.
Yeah,
he posted.
That's him. Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
He became pirate legend in Sea of Thieves blind.
Yeah.
I mean,
the guy is blind.
How is that even possible, man? It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
And that's the community.
These guys, but these guys, like, it's so. I was amazed also by the tweet. I didn't even know that Xbox Mike tweeted this out. So, and seeing this guy is blinded and getting pirate legend, it's crazy. But these guys are so, like, they know what to do with sounds and that kind of stuff, and also the help probably that he got from the guys, it's so amazing. So
this headset helps, right? I mean, it's wired now. It's normally wireless, but it's crazy what you can hear in this headset, man. It's have you played Hellblade with this, Pat?
I did.
Damn,
I did.
Man. What?
It's crazy.
What a sound.
It goes back to core value here, man. We want everyone to feel welcome. We want everyone to feel like. I had somebody on the team put this: gaming isn't a privilege, right? Like, gaming is something that you just come and you want everyone to enjoy it and have an opportunity to do it. No matter who you are or what, who you are, what you may have, don't have, we want you to come to the Xbox platform and say, hey, this is my home. This is where I enjoy things, and this is where I want to come back to over and over again.
Of course, and I mean, another hats off for the Xbox team and the whole as well, with that accessibility controller, of course. Yeah. Not just designing it for yourselves, but for the fact that you made that controller open source to use, regardless of what platform they're using, just so that people could enjoy gaming more. That was awesome to see as well. And of course, thankfully, at the very beginning when we first started the podcast, we had Gabby Mitchell on, and she kind of talked us through that design process and being so privileged to work on that, and obviously being involved in that particular project. And that's one thing actually I want to pick. I do want to pick one up because I do custom controllers, etc. I want to pick up one of those and give it away to the community. Do a custom special. There you go. He's got the Skies of Arcadia.
That's dope.
Andrew made this for me.
Oh man, that's a beautiful.
It's my favorite game, Skies of Arcadia from the Sega Dreamcast.
Oh yeah, man.
And cool. He made me this controller. It's a Series X controller, but then Skies of Arcadia.
That's your good friend, man.
I also got one from Dutch. I got the Elite controller customized by him.
Those are fire, man. Fuego.
Yeah, man. And
Fuego, yes.
And the buttons are like really nice. They're bullets.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Only word I could say is fuego there, man. It's fire.
Alan, if you want to see a really cool one, check out today's post from WandrinDutch. He has made this Series S Sea of Thieves, and man, it's best project yet.
It's on Twitter?
Yeah, it's on Twitter. Yeah.
I'll check it out.
It's a Series S console and controller for Xbox Mic.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's the whole Twitter is retweeting it and loving it, man. It's crazy.
I love that, man.
That's what I love. Again, but going back to the community, it is really awesome. And again, having you here and just talking like with friends and things like that. And same with Dave. Like he'll jump in and chat from time to time when he's obviously even during work. He's like, no, like he'll jump in and say hello, whatever, doing things. Aaron will do the same thing, and like it's awesome. Like to see the connectivity with the community, but then also. Then you boil it down to individual teams within Xbox, so it's not just those that work in the technical aspects or the back room, etc., but individual developers and how like the Sea of Thieves guys like really interact with their community, and the guys over at Obsidian really interact with the Grounded community, and every little facet of each little community is really kind of intricate, and they really kind of show them off and are very supportive of them. That is awesome to see.
Yeah.
Well, Alan.
Yes, sir.
Your dad wants a shout out as well.
Hey, Dad. He's probably jealous because I told my mom I love her on stream. So, Dad, I love you too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but to your point about the community, like we talked about this before we jumped on stream, that those of us that work here are. Like we are a part of the community ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And as much as we can, there isn't a barrier. We don't want there to be a barrier, right? Like we, at times it just feels good to like continue to like ingrain yourself in the community. Like this today feels amazing because this is something I do with my friends on a regular basis. Sit around and talk shop about games and whatnot, and to be able to do it with people in Europe, wow, fascinating. We like people don't lose sight of that around here, man. That we are a part of the community, and really without the community, there is no Xbox team. Like we rely on each other, type of thing.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Now we've mentioned your favorite console, 360, but what is your favorite game or franchise of all time?
Ooh.
Oh.
Yes.
God, they're bouncing around, man. Before I actually get my favorite one, my most let's save that one for after. I want to say I have a most frustrating franchise of all time.
Okay.
But, the one I love the most, my favorite. Dude, it's gotta be Halo. It's gotta be Halo, man. Oh my gosh, the amount of enjoyment that game has brought into my life. There's no way. It's the only game that I played every campaign on.
Yeah. Yeah. Which Halo specifically is the most memorable? Because that is a very different one. When you ask people, that can vary so much. That answer. The favorite Halo.
Favorite campaign is Combat Evolved. First
the
Halo.
Original. Yeah.
OG Halo. Best multiplayer. Okay, I know what the common answer is. But I was trash at Halo 3, so it's not my favorite multiplayer. But most people say Halo 3 is their favorite multiplayer. Not that I'm not trash, I'm just less trash on Halo 5. So Halo 5 is my favorite online multiplayer.
I agree with
the
you.
Halo franchise. Okay, I'm glad someone does. So yeah, OG Halo for the campaign, Halo 5 for the online multiplayer.
Yeah, I was going to say OG for me. OG Halo is the most nostalgic because that's what got me to Xbox in the first place. Obviously, going into the store, seeing the big unit with the control there, and feeling the rumble on the gamepad for the first time, and the game on screen and things. And I was like, yeah, I need one of these. And then obviously playing through the campaign for the first time. So that's nostalgic reasons, but my actual favourite campaign is 2. When you really go against the flood and things for the first time.
Yeah.
And yeah, just that is mine specifically.
I think in Halo 1, it's been a while since I played the campaign, you do get the flood at the end of the campaign, right?
Yes.
Like you go on the ship with it there. Dude, you talk about something that was endless nightmares for a kid. Oh my gosh. It was probably like 11 p.m. on a Saturday night the first time that I went up against the flood, and I remember going to my room and be like, I can't sleep. Like, they're going to come get me. Terrified. It took me a while to get over that one. That was a little bit of trauma for a kid back in the day. That one is a lifelong memory. God, Halo's such a good franchise. Man. I'm so glad that we're getting Infinite in a few months. Are you ready to go Rock Band?
No. In chat they want me to sing, and they're talking about karaoke. So I was like, I have the lips microphone still. So.
Oh my god.
Which was your favorite game in co-op then, as far as you remember? Your favorite campaign in co-op? Because again, that's why 2 kind of does it for me in terms of the campaign, because I remember extremely fondly playing through Halo 2's campaign co-op, like couch co-op, for like days and days, just playing that thing.
Are you talking about like a favorite co-op game?
The favorite co-op Halo?
Halo. Oof. I didn't play the campaign co-op, but me and a cousin of mine used to go into Blood Gulch.
Yes.
And take our warthogs and just like jump them or smash them into everything we could. You talk about like simple entertainment, man. Truly, for 2 or 3 hours, just we called ourselves the Warthog Brothers, just like woo, man, doing everything we could with them. And like I would say again, this is my like little brother sob story here. Even when I tried to play a co-op campaign or something, it usually just involved my brothers taking the controller away from me and playing it themselves. So yeah, I will say my co-op experience was the Warthog Brothers and Blood Gulch. So Halo, OG Halo, back to it.
Oh, that's absolutely awesome. No, that is. I remember Blood Gulch specifically for like even again with a friend 1v1 snipers across Blood Gulch.
Oh man,
opposite end of the map and just ducking and.
Heck yeah, man! Heck yeah!
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. What is that most? You mentioned just there though. What is your most frustrating game of all time?
So,
Call of Duty.
Well, mine. To give some backstory, my passions in life that don't involve my family are split between sports and video games. So it's like 50-50, right? Love sports, love video games. And how familiar are y'all with the Madden NFL franchise?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're familiar with it. Yeah.
I know it. I never played it.
Yeah. So Madden is one of those games that when you go to its highest difficulty, becomes unrealistic. And this is my own problem because I always put games at the highest difficulty because I am convinced that I need to beat it that way. And every year, I usually have like a 4-week affair with Madden where I pick it up every year and I'm like, this is awesome. I turn it into all Madden. And then after a couple weeks, I'm like, this is impossible. This game is terrible. Simulation is garbage.
Two controllers destroyed.
Oh yeah, man! Like it's one of the. It's notorious for being a game where it's like the defending players can jump 7 feet in the air and intercept the pass. Like that is unrealistic. I watch football every Sunday, all day. I've never seen that happen in real life. So as we have
the FIFA here. So.
Dude, love FIFA. Love that game. I'm more of a FIFA fan than I am an actual soccer football fan. Yeah.
Okay.
like I love the sport, but I don't keep up with it, especially on the global scale as much. And the way I do is through FIFA. I haven't picked up the newest one, but I need to, because Neymar and Messi and Mbappe on the
Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah, PSG is silly. So I need to pick up that game. Actually, we're going. My wife and I have plans to go to Spain in later this year. Like I can't even remember when. She knows better than I do. The thing that stuck out in my head is
that's what wives are for, right?
Hey, as somebody who's not a great planner, what I learned is it is very beneficial to marry a planner. We bought tickets to go to the Barcelona game, so I'm super stoked about that. Hoping everything remains safe and we can make it. And that is going to be. I feel like after that, I'm going to be super hooked on European football. So I'm looking forward to it.
The Bernabeu is a very good place to start your experience.
I hear that, man. I hear that. So most frustrating franchise for sure, Madden, because I watch people play it online, and my complaints are more so because I'm not good at it, because they have no problem being really good at it, right? But rule number one: never blame the player, always blame the game.
Yeah, 100%. We're exactly the same with FIFA for us.
Really?
It's never us. It's never us. Yeah. It's the game. Stupid game. Why'd you do this?
Always.
Can I ask a silly question then?
Of course.
If you have the Copa America,
yeah,
are you United States or Mexico now?
My allegiance is to my mother's homeland, Mexico. Man, I'm always rooting for Team Mexico.
Mexico.
Mexico. But like in the World Cup, even like Copa America, World Cup, whatever, I root for them independently. But when it comes head to head, I'm like, all right, let's remember where the bloodline lays, and that's in Mexico. So that's who I root for.
Okay.
Now, if I could just get either of those teams to be really good, that would be awesome.
So, Mexico had that really good stage when Javier Hernandez was really doing well. But that team, when Hernandez was really good, was actually really doing well.
Yeah.
That was really, really interesting to see how far they would go, because that was
for sure.
That was again, I think they're pinnacle for a while. When they got to that stage, they had a lot of good players. It was really fun watching them, actually.
The U.S. team is their talent. I don't know how good they'll be, but their talent is starting. I read enough about it. I read about. Most of my days are spent reading about sports, reading about video games. So even though I'm not super ingrained in what is going on, I know just enough. And the U.S. team is coming along. I think most of the times my wife and I will watch a soccer match, and if Mexico's playing, for some reason I love yelling Memo Ochoa's name, the goalkeeper. So whenever he makes a save, I'm like, Memo Ochoa.
American commentators are the most wild in the world, by the way.
Really? Yeah, for sure.
In the UK, it's far more subdued. It's like, oh, Ronaldo, what a goal!
Meanwhile, and that's why I love watching Spanish broadcasts, because I don't know how somebody can possibly say goal for so long.
Yeah.
It's incredible, right?
There's 30 O's in that word. Goal.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely awesome. Speaking of Halo, however, we've all had everyone here has had the opportunity to play the Halo Infinite flight now, including Allan. And you mentioned, of course, your group chat, your friends are all absolutely buzzing about it now as well. Of course, we are being introduced with the Halo Infinite flight again tomorrow, and we have big team battles this weekend. Not only is it just for insiders, it's also for essentially anyone who downloads the Xbox Insider app now can play on the Inside build. So opening up the community even more, getting more people trying out the game. Allan, how have you found the Halo Infinite flight then? If you want to compare it versus previous Halos you've played online, 5 being your most favorite online experience, how would you compare it versus what you've played of Infinite and its tech flight so far?
I'm gonna steal a sign from Vin here and do this.
Yeah,
hard, man. Like, right off the bat,
Yeah.
we had, what was it, like in August, or I can't remember, like the first insider preview.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
August. Yeah.
I remember my reaction being like, this is everything I love about Halo multiplayer. Like, it's smooth. The maps are set up really well. And I know, like, right now, during that one, we could only play like 2 or 3 maps, right? I can't remember exactly what it was. But just the mechanics were really, I mean, it was Halo, man. You didn't feel like they were trying to do too much or introduce new things, right? For me, I'm like, I can be as simple as long as there's a warthog, because me and my buddies will, like, one person will drive, one person will be the gunner, right?
Yeah,
as long as you can do that, you get your ghost and like different vehicles. Like, that's the beauty of it, is it's a game that has so many different mechanisms of battle. It's almost like there's a little bit of something for everyone, right? If only one day I could get good at like the sniper game. I'm not like, shoddy sniper's not my jam.
Really, not in Halo specifically. I am terrible at sniping. I have no idea how people do that on Halo.
Oh, it depends on the weapon. If you have the sniper rifle, I'm shit. But at the battle rifle zoomed in, I'm good. So
yeah, it is. There's nothing more frustrating than getting like quick scoped on a sniper. I'm like, how do you possibly do that, man? Like, like you zoomed and shot at the same time. I can't even zoom and track ahead, let alone shoot, right? So yeah, that has, if you've ever loved Halo, enjoyed Halo, I feel like Infinite is right up your alley, man. And if you haven't tried it, I would just about guarantee that you'd enjoy it when it comes out.
Oh, 100%. And how much? What is the favorite of the maps you've played in the flight so far? What's your favorite?
Oh, not the okay. So I can think of the one that's like more outdoors. It's got kind of like the center court and the higher elevation areas. It looks like it's in a town type of thing.
Yes.
Musaba.
That one. That one's okay. My favorite, and then it looks like one that's more like the outdoors and like a Covenant space. I can't remember. I can't remember the names of any of these, but my favorite one has been it looks like it's inside a ship type of thing.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly my favorite one as well.
Yeah, I love the way that the map lays out. There's a lot of verticality in it, but also like each kind of area of the map breaks out into its own unique spot. But you have sight lines to all the different areas.
Yes.
And I'm terrible about being patient in a game, especially in a combat game where it's just like go, 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 go. So any map that facilitates a lot of engagement and action, that's always going to be my favorite one.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Another
reason why me and Call of Duty don't get along very well.
Same year.
Yeah. How would I find what?
How do you find the new grapple hook mechanic and the repulsor? Have you had a chance to try both of those out yet?
I haven't really figured them out, man. But the grapple hook, you can grapple other people, right?
Other people, you can other things.
Weapons. You can weapons.
You can Spider-Man across the map if you want.
So I had forgotten a little bit about the grapple hook, and I was convinced the game was broken the first time somebody did it to me. I was like, no, I was like, there's no way that could have happened, right? And then one of my buddies on the that I was playing with said, like, bro, that's a new grapple hook. So it is something that I need to master. I didn't get to play this past weekend because I was out of town, but this coming weekend I plan on being all over it, and grapple hook being one of those things that I need to figure out how to use, because I know it's being used against against me, and people are having success with it.
Yeah, 100%. Pat, what have you made? Because it's you've mentioned this is your first Halo you've played.
Yes.
Ooh.
What do you make of the game then? Obviously, being new to the Halo franchise, what do you make of it so far?
It's awesome. Like, I like, I was like, okay, let me try some games, but I couldn't stop playing. Like, and the different kind of game modes that you had, that's pretty awesome as well. One of the favorite ones is Slayer.
Yeah.
Like, just keep going all the time, and one of the game modes that I didn't like that much was Capture the Flag. It's never been on the games that have Capture the Flag. So, but yeah, like I said, the game looks really awesome. It plays really well. The sounds, the combat, everything is good. Yeah.
Do Capture the Flag with the grapple hook. Yeah. It's fun. It's really fun, man.
That's another thing. Bringing a different thing to Capture the Flag now. Being able to grapple hook the flag from miles away.
Exactly.
Yeah, I saw a video of a guy on Twitter. Like, he ran to the other side. He took the flag and keep like throwing it. And when he forgot it, he was like up on the up some high building or something, and he grabbed with the grapple hook. He grabbed it from far, took it with him, and ran to his other side. So yeah, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, but that's pretty cool. But
you're gonna love
like probably this guy played Halo for a long time. Like it's impossible for me to do it, but I'll definitely gonna play this game
December 8th.
when it's coming out. Yeah, I know. I know.
It's a Gamepass, the Master Chief Collection, Halo 5. You have to till this December 8th. You can ask Allan, you can ask me, you can ask Drew. They can all help you.
Yeah, BTB, Big Team Battle is where it's at, man.
Yeah.
It is like a
for sure.
It's a beautiful
we
mess.
Need to play it, and I'm gonna play it. Yeah. No, but I loved it. And definitely gonna play this game when it's come out, for sure.
Are you looking forward to this weekend? Are you going to be jumping on?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yes. Full team of 12. This is the thing. Like, this weekend just gone, we had the fortunate / unfortunate issue of having a team. I think a party full of like 6 to 7 people, and being restricted to like 4-player teams. So just like, right, so who's got an open squad and who doesn't? Who needs more people? And like...
that is one of the things that I love the most about Halo is the custom game aspect, because we would have like 15 people in a party back in the prime Halo 5 days with it's just like people on the Xbox team, friends of friends, and you could always jump into a custom game and kind of like make your own BTB type of thing. And it is always been one of the things that I have missed the most, especially in the world now where we've got PUBG, Apex, Warzone, and all those different, battle royale games, is that it's hard to like really have a lot of people in a group together, right? Like you break up into your little squads. And I know it's something that I'm super excited about with Halo coming back, is that you can have essentially like an endless number on the amount of people in your group and set up a custom game and get going.
Oh yeah,
that's really nice. We also do that with PUBG. We have some friends over in England.
Yeah.
And once in a while we organized, or one of the guy organizes like a PUBG night, and we make custom games. So every time we switch with teams and play with different players and different kind of game modes. So yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So leave it to
do. Yeah.
I made fun of somebody. I don't know how this worked, but somebody had a lot of time in their hands on the team and had a stored. I don't know if it was like stored on a SharePoint or something, calculator that essentially threw in everybody who was in the party at that time, and based off of like their previous match rankings of KD, assist, if they were better at ghost kills or warthog kills, and it would like spurt out what the most balanced team was, like team versus team.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. Wow, that was crazy. And it was crazy how accurate it was. That's how seriously we took Halo, man. It was like we wanted it to be good games, because the last thing you want is, oh, well, the teams are unbalanced. Sometimes even so much that the calculator would be like, well, it needs to be 3 versus 5. And you'd be like, that's not right. And then those games would end up like 50-49 or something like that.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, that was really close.
Yeah. It's like scary accurate. Turns out the calculator works. So yeah, man, we like hours upon hours doing stuff like that.
And that's what I'm looking forward to specifically this weekend as well. Like, as soon as I said big team battles and it's like the teams of 12, and I'm like, yeah, I can't wait. Like, to be able to open up that team and get everybody in, and just like, right, okay, nobody needs to wait to jump in. Like, I had to make the horrible decision the other day. I had someone from the community jump into our team when we were already at 4, and it turned to 5, and we couldn't start the game, and we were wondering, like, it didn't say anything, but I was like, why can't we start the game? And it's like, you've got too many people. I was like, but there's only 4 of us. But it turned out one of the community members had jumped in trying to play with us. And I was like, I'm gonna have to boot you. I'm sorry.
For sure. And then it's that awkward, like, oh, dude.
Yeah. Like, I really don't want to. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna definitely get you in.
Exactly what you mean. Then even with, like, I think in the past we've had 7 people trying to jump on, and it's a mad scramble to be like, all right, we're the first 4 in. Yeah, we've got our squad, you know. So yeah, BTB is gonna be really it's gonna be a blast, dude. It's gonna be so much fun.
I can't wait. And I'm interested to see what the kind of big numbers are going to be for that as well when it comes to launch, whether it's going to be just 12 or whether it's going to be 24, or like what the actual big team battle numbers are going to be. Like, how many can you have in your team?
That's the excitement, man. That's the excitement. Got to figure it out. Those days, I tell you, dude, it's like Christmas morning now. I feel like with the amount of games coming out, not just on Xbox, just all over the place and all over the news, like every month there's some kind of Christmas-like feeling where you're like, oh, what? Yeah. It's like opening the present.
Yeah, exactly. Aside from Halo, then, what is your most anticipated game that's coming out? Or not even just this year, but maybe this year and next year, let's say, your most anticipated game.
Forza. Yeah, I was gonna say Forza Horizon 5. I want to rip through the roads on that one. It'd probably be like the top of mine, man. Forza. Whenever that comes out, I know I'm gonna drop a bunch of hours into that game. It kind of reminds me. There used to be this game on N64, Cruisin' World, where you would just like race around the world, and that I feel like I'm going to get a very nostalgic feeling back to that, because it's really the only racing game I've ever played, and I'm not going to be able to put Horizon 5 down.
No. If you've never played it, it's it's a different thing altogether. It's like it can be a chilled out game, or it can be a really cool like party game where you can just jump in with loads of your friends and just drift around the place or race around the place, or do
that's what I'm looking forward to.
Private or games that you can play with them and silly things, or just go and explore, and like it's just such a it's an everything game. Like, if you want to be serious and have serious races, you can do that. If you want to just mess around, you can do that. If you want to go and chill out, do that. There's so many radio stations that you can find music that you really like to listen to. It's an everything game. If you've never played it, you will be addicted to it.
I love asking people, like, what game should I be playing? Like, what games are coming out that I should have my eye on?
Ooh. Back 4 Blood.
Back 4 Blood?
Yes. Yep. Have you ever played the Left 4 Dead series before?
No, but I've always seen how amazing they are.
Yes, 100%. Back 4 Blood. It's just a silly, fun game. Like, squad of 4. You've got to survive, get from one end of the map to the other. Big bosses. Gets crazy, gets overwhelming. You get these little cards where it tells you, essentially, it gives you like little caveats, so you can say, right, okay, well, it's either going to fill the map with hundreds of zombies that you physically can't escape past, or you choose another card and it creates a really thick fog across the whole map, so you can't see where you're going to get across the map in the first place. You could go into anything. So there's all these little caveats, but it's just how crazy the game is from start to finish, and it's one of them fun games to play with friends. And again, it's another one that's dropping into Gamepass day one. So
Game Pass, Matt. Wait, speaking of Game Pass, I'm surprised we haven't talked about cloud gaming coming to consoles.
yes, it is. Is that something that you worked on or not yet?
No. When I saw the news, I was like, "Whoa, that is dope." I mean, from the standpoint of like being able, because how many times, like in my mind, how many times have I gone through Game Pass and been like, "I'd like to try it before I download it."
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, boom, man, jump in. I think it is one of the more. It is one of my favorite features, probably my most favorite feature that we've come out with over the past couple of years, because it meshes with me as somebody who will try a game for 5 minutes and decide like, nah, I don't want to, or realize I like it. So when I saw that news this week, I was jumping for joy.
Oh, 100%. Like
it's crazy. It's crazy, right? I mean, if you own an Xbox One console now, and with the chip shortages, you can't get a Series X, you still get to play Series X games on your Xbox One console through xCloud. It's if you're gonna think about how it works, it's crazy because you have like this huge data centers, right, with Xbox Series X hardware installed, and that's how your Xbox One can run an Xbox Series X game. It's
from thousands of miles away.
It's like, how, man?
The magical cloud, man. The magical cloud makes everything happen.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
But you made a good point there, though. It's and again, it's when they first announced it. It's about the fact that now you can, instead of like you do and like I do, you'll be like, okay, there's a new game on Game Pass. We'll install it and then we'll try it, and then you uninstall it, and then you just wait all this time. Now you don't have to wait for it to install it, try it. You can just play it on cloud for a bit. Go, oh yeah, this is interesting. Download. And then you can you can download it whilst playing it. You don't even have to wait for it to install. You can just, okay, I'll just keep playing it. And as soon as I've finished installing it, then I get the native version.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely insane. But again, another good point from Vin. Obviously for people who can't get the Series X, whether it's down to stock issues, of course, because of chip shortages and things like that, and even just shortages on things like plastic and copper and all that, kind of worldwide, kind of stopping people getting their hands on the next gen consoles as well. Being able to play next gen games on the current console whilst they wait for the ability to get a current console is just insane. It's absolutely insane being given people that opportunity. Have you had a chance much to play cloud normally, like on your mobile and things like that?
Yeah. There'd be nights. Mainly when I do, it's nights where I'm like, oh, I don't want a game tonight. And then, because like the way my wife and I's sleeping pattern goes is she goes like gets into bed at like 10. I usually play games and it's like midnight. And then there's sometimes like, oh, I don't feel like staying up playing games tonight. And it never fails that I'll be laying there in bed and I'll grab my controller and be like, play cloud games right on my phone. So I typically do that, or like there's been times I've been at my parents' house. What is it? Bleeding Edge, right? I played Bleeding Edge a number of times. That's what I love about it the most is because I don't have to if I go visit my family in Texas, or even nights where I don't want to sit on my couch or at my gaming setup. It gives me another opportunity to jump in really quickly, play for a little bit, just get in and out, which I love because it's like it's access, it's convenience, and I think it's such a it's really such an amazing offering for all of us in the gaming community.
Oh yeah, 100%. Another one I'd recommend. Obviously, you mentioned indies before, but and obviously I think we mentioned it previously. But The Artful Escape. If you haven't yet played that, most definitely play that.
Artful Escape?
Yeah, Artful Escape.
Okay.
You like rock bands, right, Alan?
Oh yeah.
Go play it.
Okay.
Headphones on.
Headphones on. Yeah.
Always.
Your own wireless headset, with Dolby Atmos.
Oh yeah.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
I'll have to check that one out.
It is an audio-visual experience. Put it that way.
Especially audio with the guitars.
Yeah.
But do you play with the controller though? You don't hook up the guitar. Okay.
No, you play with the controller. Yeah, it's like a platform. Okay. It's a platforming game. Start to finish is like 3.5, 4 hours. So it's a nice short indie game, but it's more of a visual music experience where you've got like, you go through it. It's like, I say, a platforming beginning to end, but then you get through segments where you've got to do button combinations to match up with what they're doing on the screen to like make these musical kind of rock performances. But it's just a really cool story.
Yeah, story.
I'm thinking about all of the games that we talked about, and I can't believe one that I forgot, and you just reminded me of it, like matching up sounds to beats. Fusion Frenzy, man.
I haven't played that yet. I have not played.
You haven't played? Oh man, Fusion Frenzy was. I think it was like a demo or something with the original Halo. I can't remember what it was. But my sister and I, for the longest time, all we had was that demo, and you could only play like 5 of the mini games. And we would spend hours playing those little games, man. So
yeah, man.
Dutch from a co-op player. I think it's on Gamepass now. Fusion Frenzy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's a blast, dude. It is. Some of those games are really hard too. The little mini games. It's like it was the equivalent. It was the equivalent, like yeah. It was like the equivalent of Mario Party on the original Xbox. That game was a blast.
Awesome stuff.
Now we only need Kung Fu Chaos, Alan.
Kung Fu Chaos.
Yeah. From the OG Xbox.
Anything is possible, my man. Anything.
I hope, man. I hope.
If we can just get Xbox P3 to follow us on Twitter, right?
Yeah, all of us.
Yeah, that's the first thing.
I think Drew has the most chance for that.
I agree.
No, it's been absolutely awesome. I want to say we'll begin the outros now. It's been an absolutely awesome show, Alan. It's been an absolute privilege having you on, brother. An absolute blast, actually, kind of speaking to you and talking about gaming in general. Your kind of roots and where you've come from, and the community and your family, the way your family's kind of supported you throughout as well, has been absolutely awesome to hear. And obviously, eventually getting better than your brothers at these games that they've taught you so well at.
Yeah. They'll never admit it, but I am a lot better than them now.
But no, you should be now. Now you work at Xbox. Now
I know,
you should
right?
be better. Yeah.
I know, it's a lot of pressure on me. I live up to it.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute blast this evening. And again, massive thank you to everybody in the chat and the community. Great again to see Alan and his family kind of in the chat as well. Really great to see that support. It's heartwarming. But throughout, I want to shout out as well to the super chats that come in, because I didn't shout them out when they were on there. Of course, Cucumber sent 2 lots of £5 super chats. The first one was a joke surrounding Phil Spencer's recent interview with Take Two, and that was question for the guest, 30 million, referring to 30 million subscribers on Game Pass. He just said, just kidding, and then a heart. The next one, okay, he can come back on, Blue Shimmer for the win. Regarding the controller being one of your favorites, the Blue Shimmer controller.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, Pink Vibes with a €5 super chat with 5 green hearts there. So thank you to all those super chats that come in there. Thank you for all the new subscribers as well, including your sister, Kelly, who also subscribed. Man. So thank you very much for that. But yes, massive thank you to the chat this evening. Absolutely awesome community as always. But yes, Alan, thank you so much for that. It's been really great to hear your story and where you've come from and your journey through Xbox so far. And hopefully long may it continue. But let people know what you've got going on and where people can find you and what you're going to be playing over. Well, the opportunities you're going to have to play over in between work.
So my gamer tag is Carranzasaurus, my last name, and you can add Saurus there. That's where you can find me on really any social media, Twitter, Instagram, of course, Xbox Live. Always looking to play with others in the community. So if there's a game that you see me playing and you want to send an invite, send it my way, and I'm sure we can catch up on something. Gaming wise, FIFA. Yeah. You reminded me I need to go check out FIFA. I will be continuously playing Apex Legends. Patrick, you mentioned earlier, Kellosaurus Rex are the teammates. JDS, we play that a ton. And then Halo. gearing up for Halo, Forza Horizon 5, Marvel's Avengers. I will for sure be lost in over the next couple of months.
Just download it.
Heck yeah, man. Anything. I'm always here for a good time, man. So if it's a fun game, I'm here to play it.
Awesome stuff. Brilliant.
I'll challenge you to FIFA.
What's that?
Oh, he's challenging you.
I will challenge you to FIFA.
I'm here all day, brother. It's like we say, catch me on the sticks, man. I'll be there.
I'll add you after the show.
So yeah, I'll be here, man.
Awesome stuff. And if anybody wants to actually see a nice link underneath the video, there is a link to Alan's Twitter as well. So drop him a follow. And obviously, if you want to play some games with Alan, hit him up.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can get that organised. That'll be awesome. Next up, Pat, if you let people know where they can find you, brother, and what you've got coming up.
Well, you guys can find me on Twitter, of course. The name says it right here, with the underscore between the name and the numbers. You guys can find me on Twitch as well. Upcoming weeks, I'll be gonna stream a lot. So, yeah, keep your eyes open. Probably gonna stream some Marvel Adventures. Gonna play some Apex, PUBG, all kind of games. Halo, of course, this weekend. So, yeah, man. Up for some gaming, for some streaming, and let's go, guys. It's been an honor to meet you, Alan.
Thanks.
And it's really awesome to see also the family supporting you in the chat. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So also big shout out to everybody who's in the chat today. And yeah, man, have a nice weekend already, and I'll see you guys on Twitch.
Sweet, awesome stuff. Last but not least, Hertog Vin, let people know where they can find you, brother, and what you've got coming up.
First, I want to thank Alan. It was so great meeting you, man. It's awesome chatting with you. It's you're a really nice guy. So thank you, really thank you. And yeah, you can find me, as Hertog Vin on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, OnlyFans, Pornhub, whatever you want. I'm basically everywhere on the same name.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna continue The Last of Us on Twitch.
Yep.
And I'm gonna play Halo this weekend. I have night shift, so it won't be long, but I'm gonna try to stream it. And I'm hooked to FIFA again. FIFA 22 is really, really good. It's finally back to like FIFA 18 was. So we can finally forget 19, 20, and 21. I'm gonna play Marvel Avengers as well. And I'm gonna continue Scarlet Nexus.
Yes.
I love the game so far. So that will be my main games. And
awesome.
Yeah, that's about it. I think Alan needs to go, so I'm gonna cut it here.
I'm gonna be brushing up my FIFA skills, man. I'm gonna be ready for you. I'll be ready for you.
Okay. We'll play 5 minutes versus Mexico then.
Yeah, let's do it.
Before we forget, I want to do this one.
Yeah.
Smithy Smith coming in with a $10 donation on the super chat. Salute, mix up, mesh up. Thank you for the $10 donation, man, and big shout out to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Smithy Smith. I'm really glad you enjoyed the show today, brother, and thank you for the support as always. It means a lot.
Big shout out to Alan.
Yes, massive shout out to Alan again, most definitely.
Yeah, great meeting you, man. It was awesome meeting you.
Of course, man. Great meeting y'all. I do have to give one more shout out to my wife, Christina. Love you, because without her, like I said from the beginning, I would not be here. So she is the engine that made all of this possible by telling me just apply, see what'll happen, and look at
go for it.
Change
giving you the
man.
encouragement to do it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's all about the support system we have around us.
Most definitely.
Yeah, this was such a pleasure, guys. Anytime I can join, always reach out my way, Dutch.
Please come back. Please come back, man. Please come back.
We'll try and get you and Dave on the same show at the same time.
Oh man, I don't know if there's enough words to be able to do that, because between him and I, we talk forever. So it's actually, we should both get on here.
please do.
Yeah, we'd be like fighting for the mic, man. so in that case, we should do it. But yeah, no, man, huge fans of the show. I continue to tune in week on week. I love the content you guys bring out, and anytime I can be a guest, I'm here for it. Just holler my way.
Most definitely.
Awesome, man. Nice.
Awesome stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And for myself, before we go, if you haven't already seen it on Twitter, of course, unveiled Mick's new Xbox Series S that are designed from the Sea of Thieves one. But tomorrow I have a video ready to go live, and that is the unveiling of the Fable Xbox Series S in collaboration with Sean Labrie as well. So that one's actually sitting there ready to go live. There's already a scheduled tweet as well ready to post. It's just after that video with all the pictures for that new console. So yes, it's been crazy to get that support on the first custom console that we did. So it would be absolutely insane to have this same level of support on the second one. Massive shout out to Sean for the awesome artwork, and obviously collaborating again this time around. Again, one final shout out to everybody in the chat, to Alan, and to obviously my panel. Awesome for all of you this evening. An absolute pleasure. Hope everybody has a great night, and we will see you all again next week. Goodbye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Later, guys.
Love you all.